Hello, my amazing viewers. Welcome back to the Investors Chair, where we sit down, get comfortable, and talk real estate investment that works for you. Before we proceed, I hope you're having fun this weekend because all work without play makes Jack a dull boy. And for the ballers, all play without work make Jack a toy. Today, I am honored to have with me a respected authority in the investment industry with a wealth of practical experience. He's currently an advisor in real estate investment with Hills Group of Company as the HR manager, Mr. Buoghayefa Uzakah. Welcome to the Investors Chair, sir. Let's get into today's conversation. Okay, sir, how could you define a true smart investment in today's economic climate?
Well, true smart investment are three big words. I'll tell you that in the present circumstance that we found ourselves economically, smart investment will have to do with taking up on opportunities that present themselves. No matter how bad an economy is, whether it's a downturn or is going upwards, there's always an avenue for investment. So that's where the SmartNet comes in. Now, given the present scenario, SmartNet means every little opening that could create wealth, generate financial investment. Reasons are not far-fetched. If it's treasury bill being organized by the government, especially the CBN, there are all these economic indices you need to consider before you buy them. If you go into shares, the economy of the state will affect your prospects either negatively or positively. But in majority of cases, we experience more of negative outcomes. So I wouldn't
In real
say,
estate?
No. I mean in shares. Now, if you now look at maybe real estate properly now, I think that's the only place where whether the economy is in downturn, it's rising. The economy is buoyant, it's still rising. So when you find yourself in that kind of environment, I mean, you don't need to second guess whether to plow your money into it or not. Now, depending on the location or the places will also matter. So in investment, if you ask me about real estate, strictly, I would say, yes, there are so many opportunities you can invest in real estate, either by direct investment, by partnership, or by acquiring properties straight away.
Okay, thank you. So you are advising us to actually invest in real estate more than investing in stocks.
Yes, that is my advice for you based on personal experience and having maybe a case study at the economic environment and the business community. So real estate is that because that's one place, if you decide to make an investment, over a period of time, could be 6 months, 1 year, or more, your investment will be giving you enough dividends or return on investment. So one, your capital is secured, depending on even the security of the investment. Your capital is secured, the return on investment is rolling in multiples. That's, 100%, 200%, sometimes could be 1,000%, depending on how long you hold on to that investment. And that happens more with long-term investment. Or you partner with a real estate company. That's still part of real estate investment. There again, your money is working for you. And simply put, you can only be financially comfortable, or you can only build wealth in a situation where your money works for you and not you laboring for money on a daily basis. So real estate is one sure place you can have that confidence that your money will work for you and in multiples.
Speaking of experience, you said something about you advise us to go into real estate because of experience. So please, can we know your experience? Have you ever invested in stocks? So let's know the difference between investing in stock and real estate. Talking about your own experience now.
Oh, well, I think I've done both of them and more, which I may not want to go too far to explain here. Going straight to your question, yes, I have invested in stocks. But when it comes to real estate, I think I have a different experience. I have invested in real estate, but I've been into stocks, and I'm in stocks till now.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
And
great.
even at that, I diversified my stock portfolio by both the production sector and other asset classes in stock. So I
Okay.
did that. Even in the banking sector, yes, I
Wow.
have some stock there. So that I know I can tell you for sure that the market fluctuation and the present state of the economy also decide which direction the stock will go to.
Okay.
And more so, the stock pays dividends and they also give bonus shares.
Okay.
So some persons who don't have good knowledge about how the stock market works will think that if you buy the stock, maybe in a year or two, you're going to make 100% of
Of
your
what you
investment.
invested.
Definitely not so, because the stock can only give you dividend once in a year. And
Oh,
that once in a year could be that, well, depending on the volume of money you have in the stock market,
okay.
could be just a fraction or a fragment of what you have there. That may
Okay.
not really count much.
Okay.
And your bonus shares are the ones that really will give you money in the stock market, not even the dividends they pay you. So bonus shares, yes, and they have their general meeting once in a year. So it's at that meeting they decide on how much to allocate to who, according to the number of stocks. So
Okay.
all that is a very boring, cumbersome process.
Oh,
Now, you have to wait for 1 year to get to know the result of your investment. But if you now go into the real estate space, it is something that you just have to get involved in properties, either
yes.
land or landed properties
Okay.
or investment directly. So,
Okay.
first, land. Now, land appreciates all over the world, in the real estate world,
It's
yes,
true.
it appreciates. So, if you are going into real estate investment, first, especially land, I'll tell you there is no bush in real estate, and there is no bad land in real estate,
It's true.
because what you consider to be unviable today can be a high profile area tomorrow in
It's
real
true.
estate. For instance, time was when Enugu as a capital city, I mean, Enugu has been a capital city from onset, from colonial days till now, yet not too distant from now, the Enugu I met primarily ended towards the Onitsha end at the new market area.
Oh,
Where you have the road safety office now was like the suburb of Enugu. Then there used to be this Ekulu Primary School. That was like the end of Enugu.
are you serious?
Yeah. So then there was no Enugu Onitsha Expressway. So the only way to get out of Enugu was through Night Mile, Milking Hill,
So there was
that
nothing
old
like
road.
houses around here.
No. But the Eva Valley, because of the coal miners' activities,
Okay.
there was just a presence of human dwelling. But it was more like a no-go area. That's towards that end. Then towards the airport area, immediately you go beyond orthopedic hospital. There was no Enugu. The only place you can now see the presence of human dwelling was around the Goshen hospital area.
Okay.
Then you get to the Air Force Base. Then you cannot begin to see. Anamco is a yesteryear project. So that Anamco area was almost like in a no man's area. But now, if somebody told you that even the Thinkers Corner we talk about today, pardon my language, used to be inhabited by some persons considered not to be good members of the society. Yes, I don't want to use derogatory terms. So Thinkers Corner was a no-go area where if you pass by at certain hours, you could lose your possessions.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
this Tinker's Corner.
This Thinkers Corner, yes, because it was complete bush. So it was like that. Then the Naira Triangle, that is now towards the other end of Enugu. That was when they were referring to Emene as near Enugu.
Okay.
So then Emene was distant, I agree. That Naira Triangle, because it was now the outskirt of Enugu, that's where the parent bank, the CBN, used to discard old notes. That is burning, actually physically burning the Naira notes that are no more in use. To let you know they can't do that within the town. But you know that's where we have a park right now.
Yes.
Yes. So before Anamco, before that, that was the other end. Now, if you are going towards the Port Harcourt end, that's your Konano area, when you hear of ebony paint, it used to be very close to
Gariki side. Okay.
to Enugu. In fact, the 103 Brigade sort of ended the Enugu towards that end. So when you take it, Anabapa, the Abapa that we know today, at the time, the only major landmark that signified the end of Abapa was this Silver and Gold Hotel. That's we used to call that place after the Abapa Market.
That is going to Nike side.
Going to Nike side.
Okay.
So it was that area that Abapa ended. But now you can see Abapa has extended into. Then there was no federal housing. There was no Transekulu. Ubu Odogu was there. So the Transekulu area became a developed area at a time when His Excellency Chief Ifeanyi Chukwu Nwobodo became the governor. Okay. That was when they built those Transekulu area, the Damaja area and all of that you see. Oh. That housing estate area was developed during his tenure, that I can remember vividly. So you cannot see that Enugu wasn't too broad in terms of land mass. But now development has gone beyond Transekulu, it has gone beyond Nike Lake. In fact, Nike Lake Hotel, at the time they built Nike Lake Hotel, it was considered that the place was built in the bush, in a very distant place from the heart of Enugu. But today, the Nike Lake that we used to know, that is now a landmark resort, is now within town, sandwiched by houses. The Enugu East local government is already beyond that. And you see other housing estates developing and moving towards Uzakah. So that is how Enugu developed. We used to have this ecumenical school, not Go University now, around that area. Yeah. Go University is a recent thing. I said orthopedic was like the end of the other side before you get to Thinker's Corner. So real estate has made it possible for people to acquire land. I can tell a very funny story. Then a parcel of land near the airport was sold for 100,000 naira. Yeah, 100,000 naira. Yes. In fact, an organization I belonged to then wanted to acquire land for their members. Okay. And we bought that. I also paid for it to start with.
So you have property.
But today, oh, well, that's more of a personal talk now. Oh, so, so today, if you find any land around the airport or Yemeni end of it, but you're talking about millions, if not from 10, 15.
20 million.
Yes, within that axis. Wow. But that happened in my presence. At least at the time, I could even afford 100,000 naira. So it's not too distant. So you can see how real estate appreciates astronomically within a short space of time. Liberty Bus Stop. Now I remember the hotel. Liberty Bus Stop was like the last landmark of Abapa Nike. Yes, that was Liberty Bus Stop. But now it is almost getting to the city center because, I mean, development has taken place. That Abapa area, that Abapa area from Liberty Bus Stop, like you're going to Uguagos end. Time was when a land was sold for 15,000 naira. 15,000
naira.
Yes.
Ah, where was I?
You were somewhere in outer space. Then. So, and people said it was expensive because people did not live there as much. Okay. It was only the Abapa girls, one secondary school called Abapa girls, that was at the hinter part of the town. But you know the Abapa girls we talk about today now, you have houses far beyond where the school is situated. So those who had that foresight, I'm talking about real estate investors, who had that foresight, who bought real acres and hectares of land. Today they are millionaires and billionaires. I mean, come to think about it, you can't even find any space at that Oguago area. I'm telling you, land was 15,000 naira. Now, if you ever find somebody who wants to demolish his building, you won't pay less than 30 million. So if for every 15,000 you're making that profit, assuming you had 50 plots of land then, I mean, come to think about it, you are in money. So real estate can provide that for you. It secures your future for you indeed, because at the time you are no more very active because age is no more on your side, and you want to maybe retire back home and have more rest than activities. Now you wouldn't have all the strength to make money in
Yeah.
quotes. It is these investments that will now provide all that you need till the moment they say the time is over on planet Earth. So
Wow.
that goes for it. And another good part of it is that real estate, even if you decide to build on it, I'm not talking about the buildings now, I'm just talking about just the land.
Yeah.
Now, if you had decided to build or you wanted to build way back then, you could have spent 15,000 naira. Now, if you say, okay, let me build 10 years after now, maybe I'll have enough resources. Because real estate appreciates, and generally the economy is such that it must always appreciate. And by now, your 10 years, your savings for 10 years to build can only go in for one plot of land. But you had bought it earlier when it's still considerably affordable.
Yeah.
Even if you want to build in 20 years, the price will not appreciate on that land anymore for you. You can only get your materials and build on it. If somebody wants to buy at the new price. So that can save you a lot in future, apart from the monetary incentive that you get from there. You also have the privilege of owning a land that you don't need to pay any extra to build when you're ready to do so. More so if you decide to sell it, you make money. That's about the land. And land banking, for those who want to go into it, right now could offload. How many of you know Auckland? Opposite Old Artisan Market. Good. Before the tunnel that Chimaroke Namani, as former governor of Enugu State, constructed that,
Yeah.
the trade fair used to be there. And there was no link road between Ogui Road and Aquara Avenue.
Wow.
This is a recent thing. Chimaroke Namani's tenure is not too far. When he did that, that area where you have the bridge, that tunnel,
Yes.
to your right if you're going to Aquara Avenue, and to your left, both left and right, were just mere bushes. We had this IMT located around there. And then the so-called bad boys of IMT used to use that area to carry out to do what they knew best to do at the time. So, so that was when somehow along the line, land was being sold around that area. And so many persons bought. Don't ask me if I did or not. That's not the issue now. All I know is that people bought around that area. And it was going for 4 million naira.
4 million naira.
Yes. Sounded a bit high, right?
It's not
Good.
high.
4 million. There was no Auckland. In fact, at the time, there was only one building standing in that bush. And people were so apprehensive that nobody wanted to go there. So 4 million. As I speak with you now, land in that place, at least I know the one my friend has, good, that is next to some other properties, is going for about 35 to 40 million now.
Wow.
4 million to about 35 to 40 now, because now Auckland came. Actually, I was the first person to live in that house.
Okay.
Mine was the second house. The owner of the first house never lived there. Yes. So people were, giving me thumbs up. Say, how do you live in that kind of place? Don't they disturb you? Blah, blah, blah. I said, who will disturb you? The bad boys, the night marauders. I said, well, no problem. So that happened. If you are traveling from Ogui Road to Opera Avenue through that tunnel, the only house you'll see in that place occupied by human being was mine. So my family was actually there. Okay. Yeah. So that's for short.
That's wonderful.
So now, today, the former commissioner in Enugu State had 3 plots. One beside me and 2 were opposite. He just fenced it and put a big gate. Now, do you know that at 35 million last year, he didn't sell? I said, hey, what's going on? How long will you keep this? He said, don't worry. Now we have Auckland getting in there. The price appreciated. We had we now have this Deeper Life Church going in there. They appreciated. Other housing estates developed around the area. The price went up. You also have the President Amadio Event Center right there. You equally have Elim Plaza those things never existed then at the time I lived there. So you cannot see how the place appreciated because of the presence of those infrastructures. So development set in. So if I say 30 million or 40 million, it is still like understatement because of all of these things that have come in now. We also have schools now. There's some, I think nursery school then. I don't know whether they've developed to. Yeah, there's a secondary school too around there now. So that is how real estate investment escalates in price. The moment there is any capital project or any infrastructural development
Yeah.
near the property, it may not be right on the property, the price goes up. After all, Auckland is near where our properties are, me and my
Yeah.
friend. Then Amadou Event Center, there's one little stream, demarcating both sides of the road.
Yes.
That is the way that leads you to Tiba Junction.
Yeah.
Yeah, from that tunnel area. So generally, the land around that area became so expensive that it has gone beyond the reach of the average Nigerian. But then it was within the reach of anybody, 4 million. Yeah. So the land you're seeing today and ignoring or neglecting could be another high-profile area tomorrow. Yes.
From 4 million to, let's say, 50 million now.
About 50
Or 40.
So 35 to 40 was when I knew last. As I speak now, definitely it will have, gain some more dollars or naira or pound or sterling, depending on the currency you want to buy with.
Wow.
So that is real estate for you. Assuming somebody had 5 plots and he developed one and lived in one, keep the other. Maybe in another, from then,
Yeah.
count 10. This I'm telling you is not up to 20 years anyway. So, so keep it for another 10, 15 years period now. That just sale of one plot can actually send his children abroad, can send his children to any university in Nigeria comfortably. I mean, if your parents give you 40 million, decide to invest 40 million in education in Nigeria, you must go through your 4 years without stress. Good. Now, that is just sale of one. Real estate is that good. Now, if you go into property development, or maybe you just build an estate and resell, you know what it means? At the time you're building the estates, cost of building materials may not be as expensive as now.
Yeah.
So you have done that with less amount of money. And land was cheaper. So when you build, keep, or for rental purposes, if you decide to rent it out, it's another money spinner.
Okay.
Definitely people must live in houses.
It's true.
So as they make their homes in those houses, now you see that at any time the rent increases, is the tenant that will have to figure it out, not you, the landlord. All you know is that your account is swelling while the tenant is struggling and sweating.
It's true.
So yeah, so those things happen. And basically for life, you are in the comfort zone. The moment you invest in real estate, to be honest, you have just landed in the comfort zone, financially speaking, in life, because either way it appreciates. Even if you don't want to live in that area again, you want to sell off your property and go to some other place, your property will be valued in hundreds of millions. You understand?
Yes.
So it's not just that same, maybe about 80 million naira, or maybe, let me say 30 million, 20 million naira with which you build a house. Right now, those houses that were built with 20 million, almost 250 million naira in the same area I'm talking about. So real estate definitely is for me, is one of the choicest investment any wise person can go into. Don't say, what if somebody comes to my land and claims and all that? We'll talk about that, just leave that. But I'm telling you from personal experience that it is a very lucrative investment. It gives you that peace of mind. You don't just buy the land, allow the monkeys and the reptiles to inhabit it. Any day you decide to develop it, or you farm on it, or you lease, there are so many ways of making money in real estate. So I think that is one sector that people should also consider as one of their investment portfolios. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for educating us with your experience. So permit me to say that between investing in stock and investing in real estate, I think real estate is actually the goal when it comes to investing for your future. Okay, I think we should take a break right now.
Have you been looking for where to buy solid, durable blocks you can truly trust, where quality is not compromised and your money actually works for you? Welcome to Grace Bond Shelters and Property. Here, we understand that the strength of your building depends on the quality of the blocks you use. That is why our blocks are carefully molded with the right cement and sand ratio and properly cured for maximum strength. Our blocks are heavy, well-formed, and consistent in size, reducing cracks, minimizing waste, and ensuring your building stand firm for years. So whether you are building a residential home, shops, or a large project, we supply blocks that meet building standard and give you peace of mind. At Grace Bond Shelters and Property, we combine quality, affordability, and reliability in one plate. So stop guessing, stop settling for weak blocks. Choose strength from the foundation of your building. Grace Bond Shelters and Property, where every solid building is.
All right, welcome back from the commercial break. Okay, sir, going to the next question. When it comes to common mistake our new investors repeatedly make, and how will you advise us to avoid them?
Well, in most cases, people regularly fall prey to what you just asked now.
Okay.
In the first place, when somebody is emotionally moved to make an investment, the person may not be mentally stable enough to go through the due process of finding out what the investment type is, what it takes to invest in it, and the possible, in real estate space, you're looking at security, possible documents that can secure the property for you and beyond. They don't. Others don't just say, oh, okay, this is a panic buying opportunity, so the price is cheap, you go buy, not analyzing the documents as well. When you do that, you don't know if the owner of that land discovered that you actually bought a land they shouldn't have bought, for instance, a government land or government reserved area, and he just suddenly discovered it and he wants to sell it off and disappear, and you go buy that. So my first advice would be that before you buy any land or landed property, make sure every minute detail is examined concerning that property. Not just come and buy, it's very cheap, blah, blah, blah. Beyond the information you're receiving, beyond the documents you'll have, you have to do the verification and go for the clarification. When you're done with that, and that's what you call due process or due diligence. Yes. Make sure that you verify the information you receive from the marketer or from your agent. Then the documents you have, you equally go to verify. And it's simple. You can go to the Ministry of Lands, you can go to the Surveyor General's office, and every other area related to land and administration of land within the state. So you can get that information. And most times Nigerians seem to be on the fast lane. They're not patient enough to go to the ministry where they will engage you for 2-3 hours before you come back. So in a haste, you just, okay, no problem. I bought it. I have all the documents. So what kind of documents do you really have? Now, in case of land, most people will say C of O. Yeah, that could be the very last thing that should ever cross your mind. Because the C of O itself, as the final bus stop, needs to be processed. Now you need your deed of assignment, number one. Why deed of assignment? Simple reason is that it contains the history of the land, of the property, the original owners, and the company that has bought it. And all of that is there. So when you buy that, you can trace the original ownership of the land to the right source. Then you go do your due diligence there. Now go and ask, so and so property that was sold to me, are you aware? They can say yes. So that will happen. Then you need your irrevocable power of attorney. That one is a legal document. All of these are backed by law, but then that is not a legal document enabling you to act on behalf of another person about the property. Another person simply means if you own this bottled water now and you gave it to me, or you sold it to me, you should also empower me to do whatever I want to do with this. So that's irrevocable power of attorney means it cannot be reversed. That's why it is irrevocable. So by law, I now have the right to, if I try to pour it off, it's my business. If I try to resell it, if I try to drink it, it's my business. So that document entitles me to the use of this. So you have to have that. So you cannot develop your land if you like. You can farm on it if you like. And please watch it. Most people make this mistake. Somebody could buy a property, either home or abroad, and you keep it there. You let somebody to farm on that land over a long period of time. Do you know that in as much, if you like, get it to C of O, if you allow somebody to use that your land for that length of time, by law, you are going to forfeit. The person can claim ownership of that land and still get the backing of the law. So you stand the chance to forfeit it. So whoever you're allowing to farm, either your relative or anybody, make sure it is documented that, in fact, review it every year. At the end of every yes, so that you don't get to lose your land. Some persons lock up their land for more than 10 years, 15 years before they consider building. At that point in time, it is that your farmer that is the owner of that land. If the person has this knowledge and goes to court, you lose your case. The person will get the land. Yes. So those things happen. And these are things people don't quite think of in real estate business. So you have your deed of assignment, your power of attorney, then your registered survey plan.
Okay.
Now, why do I say registered survey plan? Anybody can present a survey plan. It's a site map of your land, giving you the idea of all the dimensions, the length and breadth of it. So it is contained in that place. And the registered one has to carry the name of the surveyor. It will carry your own name and carry the dimensions of your land. You will now go and register it in the Surveyor General's office for government consent. So that secures your land at that level. So with that, you can now go and process your CFO. You can't just walk into the ministry or walk into government house and say you need a CFO. They will escort you to somewhere in New Haven, possibly. I didn't mention anywhere. So you have to get this done at the right places so that you be on safe ground. So these are things people don't quite think of, and the mistakes they always make. And now, know this. Even if somebody gives you a land or you are gifted with a land, let the person document it. Even if you inherit it from your father, let him document. Let him state it somewhere that he did this. Otherwise, along the line, a more powerful relative can come over and claim the land. All the person will need to do is to go get these documents tidied up with a real estate lawyer, and that's all. You don't have any to go to court with. He has. And in courts, I may shock you, when you are swearing the oath in the court, they'll say, the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the only truth, and nothing but the truth, right? But in the actual sense, in court, it is facts that will either exonerate you or implicate you. That is what they call exhibits. Exhibit A. Okay, this is yours, right? Even if I put kerosene here, it may look like this. And I say this is a bottle of water. Exhibit A is a bottle of water. Yes, and everybody say, yes, it's a bottle of water. How do you know it's water inside there? The truth is that it could be kerosene or could be some other substance. So it is the exhibits they show in court that the judge will use to decide the case. But the truth could be that you are the owner. But the fact before the court, the exhibit, is the other man's papers and not yours. So that is it. So in land business, get all the title documents. That's what they're called, title documents. Your title documents are the ones that secure your land for you. So when I'm talking about land security, those are the ones. With those things intact, you can claim ownership of that land until 99 years.
But if we may know, is there anything like fake documents and original documents?
Oh, definitely, yes. More so in this IT era. Anybody can go to the computer and fake any document. Yes. Now, if that is where we emphasize that if you have a parcel of land and you have all the title documents, go and get the government's approval of it, which is said at the C of O. Here again, let me explain too. A C of O can only be given to the first buyer of the property. So if you buy a parcel of land, a plot of land, for instance, and somebody wants to buy from you, originally you'll get a C of O, but that person is no more entitled to a C of O. Now the question is, so how can the person now convince any government official that that's his land? We have what is called governor's consent. The governor's consent is to let you know that, yes, actually, we are aware that this land belongs to buyer A, not you. Now it has been, the right of ownership has been transferred to you. So we are only consenting that it is a legitimate land. But the C of O you won't have. So as many as will buy after the original buyer, the much you can get at government level is governor's consent. But all the first buyers, if you process a document, you get a C of O. So when you say everybody should produce a C of O and that, what if it's not the C of O? The governor's consent represents the C of O, because that is not establishing the fact that you have a C of O in that land, but not the C of O. So in any legal matter, they'll consider the C of O or the governor's consent based on who bought first. Yes. So these are the details you need to get to know. And that can only be made available to you if you make inquiries, probably with a real estate company, because all the companies know the details of all of this. So you go there. Or not add that. Somehow, if you need more of this advice through this channel, I can also offer to you. Yes. So these are the things you need to consider. That's the much I can say about most mistakes people make. No due diligence, panic buying, emotional buying, and improperly or ill-advised about a property. Yes. The ill-advised ones are the ones that will buy one property bought by 3 persons before them or 4 and land in the court. So get proper advice or counsel from a real estate investment counselor. There you're safe and good to go.
Wow. Okay, guys, so I believe you are getting valued in this wonderful episode of The Investor's Chair. So to all my investors out there, before you buy any property out there, please do where to do your due diligence, and also don't invest with emotions. Am I right?
Yeah, you're very
okay. Right. Thank you all for sitting with me on this wonderful episode of The Investor's Chair. Thank you and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with me. God bless you.